to Facebook. How's it going? How's it going? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Well, happy rainy Friday. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you all are safe and you're dry. Um, it is a rainy, miserable looking day here in St. Louis, Missouri. Um, and it looks like it's going to be that way for the rest of the weekend. So, hope everybody is nice and warm and not getting wet. Um, So do me a favor, if you are already watching, if you're paying attention, go ahead and hit the like button and let everybody know, especially YouTube. On YouTube, that's how we let everybody know, let the algorithm know that you guys like me. Also, if you're here, go ahead and hit me up in the chat. Say hi. Say hi. Hey, how's it going? Um, just so you know, my name is David Gordon. I go by the name of DKG72, which is the name of this channel, obviously. Um, what's going on today? Well, again, it's a rainy day stream, and we're going to kind of lean into that. So we'll probably be on here for a while. If you have questions, you want to talk about something, please hit me up in the chat. Let me know. Also, hit me up in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me clearly and everything like that. If I'm sounding good, I think I'm good. I'm good. I got the camera angle on point today. Again, this is a home stream, so uh, at the house, and we'll be doing at the house things. Um, what's on the agenda for today? So what I want to do today is I actually want to do want to finish out the loose layouts for episode 6 of Zero G. Trying to go ahead and get that as close to completed as possible. So we're about 4 finished panels. I still got the very first scene I gotta finish up, and we're gonna get to that as soon as we can. But first and foremost, we want to make sure that we get the other, at least the other. I say, what's it look like? 5 more or 6 more? Looks like we got about 6 more scenes we got to at least lay out. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we got the loose those done and ready to go. Um, Again, make sure that you're hitting that like button. Make sure you hit the like button. Let everybody know that you're paying attention and watching. Before we get started, you know what we got to do. Got to go ahead and put on my glove. My glove. Um, and again, just hit me in the chat. Got questions? You want to talk about something? There's plenty of stuff going on in the world. We're definitely going to talk about it. Plus, we're going to do a little bit of, talk about some of the things that are coming up for the channel, including the new video series, which I am working on even as we speak. Also, we've got a lot of other projects going on the other channel, on the Foresight Media channel. So let me go ahead and put that link in the stream. If you have not been to that channel, what are you doing? Go visit that channel. That's where all of these stories that I'm drawing goes to live, and that's where they exist. So make sure that you subscribe and that you're watching the videos that are on those channels, because it's a pretty cool channel. We've got a lot of great things on there. We've got Zero G, obviously. We've got my own boy Mike. We've got a Gun Bunny story. Let's see what else we got on there. Yeah, look at the content again. Oh yeah, we got the first 2 episodes of Trapped on Lost Planet, a story that I will be getting back to very soon. Just don't know when. So kind of feel bad I haven't finished that one up for you guys just yet. So we're going to get to all of those stories. So let me go ahead and get that link over there in the chat. And if you have not subscribed to the Foresight Media channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because again, that's where all this work that we're doing goes to live. Okay. Um, and obviously, if you're on Facebook and in the chat, go ahead and hit that link as well. All right. When last we let's open up our very last panel that I was working on, just so I kind of have a baseline of where I was at. Let's see with this panel 5, which I do believe was okay. So Zarya is walking in um on what that boy name is. Yeah, I gotta forgive me. It's been a long week. Jaden. So that boy name. All right, so we're about to go to the next panel. And what happens is I forgot all the scenes broken down in on the separate docket, so I just refer back to that to try to figure out which one I'm going to work on next. So let's see. Let's see here. Let me see here. Oh, this is. Let me go over here. There we go. All right. Okay. And let's see here. So, all right. Uh, yeah, got that. Okay. And let's see. I also like to pull up the actual story to see if there's some switches or some things I may want to address that maybe this scene breakdown didn't get to. And I need to take a look at that. All right. Let's see here. Come on now. Open up for me. Open up for me. All right. Da, 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 da. Let me see here. So hope everybody's doing well. Anybody got any big plans for the weekend? Let me know. Let me know what you got planned for the weekend. Again, I'm in the house. I'm going to be making some content for you guys. I'm going to keep it simple and keep it pushing this weekend. Not going to do too much of anything other than work and probably spring cleaning type stuff. Let me see here. What was I at? Let's see. Uh, let's see here. All right, we did that scene. All right, we did that. They're talking to each other. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. That was where I needed to add a scene. All right. All right. So basically what we're doing now, this is actually a scene I'm adding on the fly. We're going to be back inside the zero G itself, and Zarya, our hero, she's kind of down. Things are looking bad. The bad guys look like they've got her boxed in, and she's really thinking things out when Pixel comes in, kind of forces his way in. Not forces his way, but she's like, I don't want to be bothered. But he's like, hey, my programming says I got to bother you. So let's draw that scene because I think it's going to add to add to the what's going to happen next, which is she's going to have a talk with some ghosts from her past. So let's see here. Whenever I start a scene like that, I know it's going to be some. I like to go ahead and just visualize a grid. And again, these grids are by no means accurate. It's just kind of a quick grid, kind of just give me a kind of an idea, a general idea of where I want the perspective to be and everything like that. All right. So that being said, I want the wall. So all right. So now we're gonna put okay. We'll put Zarya kind of in this foreground, and this is kind of also where if I were to let's just put a panel over here real quick, and we'll make this red. So A lot of times I also like to operate off of the rule of thirds when I'm doing these types of things. So if we were doing the rule of thirds, basically you let's make that a little bit bigger and more pronounced because I'm gonna drop this out anyway. You kind of break your scene up or your screen up into these quadrants right here. So our girl is going to appear in this quadrant. We'll put Pixel in this quadrant right here. And or I may put them a little bit over here. So she's going to kind of cover into from here over here to here. So the viewer is going to view her and then Pixel kind of in this area right here. So that's kind of the general gist of it. So that's kind of the framing of this and how I use kind of things like the rule of thirds to get these scenes set up. So let's bring that back down to a manageable number. Um, and let's just start. And again, the reason why I do that very imperfect grid is because it just helps me. It's just a little bit more of an aid that helps me visualize where my perspective needs to be when I go back to basically put it in right, do it the right way. And normally I'm pretty decent with figuring that out to where I can pretty much get my perspective grid to match up and it fits with the scene pretty well. And then the lines aren't as off. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like that. So let's see here. Let's pull back a little bit. So she's there. So there's going to have to be some semblance of a disc right here. So oh, that's going to be more of a profile shot. There we go. Uh, yep, a lot better. And again, these are just, this is just a simple, rough thumbnail or rough layout. We'll come back later and do all the good stuff, all the adding all the nice details and things like that. This is just me figuring out where these things, where people go, where the characters go, that type of thing, and also determining who is on what layer because we're always working on layers. So again, you're not afraid to draw through characters or anything like that. Get that out of there. And then let's see here, put a layer up in there. I'm just gonna kind of just put in where the door will be at. Just visualize that. That's on the under layer. All right. And then one other layer, we'll put pixel loading in. As he's often want to do. I can just kind of draw, the floating trash can that he is. What's up, Latif? How's it going? Hope you're having a good one yourself, sir. I'm having a decent day. A decent day. And can't. There's no complaints really right now. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right. So technically, for the most part, this is going to be let's see, pretty loose thumbnail. Over here. Yep. Over here and there. There we go. Yeah, no, actually, I like that little squig right there. So, looking good so far. All right, that's cool. All right, let's go ahead and save this one. Um, so if you haven't seen my little save trick that I do is like, okay, so now that I've got it kind of established here, the naming conventions, all I do is here, go here. It's 0G, it's episode 6. It's just the number of the only thing I'm gonna change is the number of the slide. This will be slide number 6. All right, let's keep it pushing. All right, now let's go back to our reference. Okay, you gonna be drawing most of this weekend, Latif? You should be okay. Because that's probably what I'm going to be doing. Spend most of this weekend working on these layouts that I've been working on, that we're working on today. Let's go ahead and get everything together. You should be good to go. Cool. All right. Yeah, I'm just been drawing for the rest of the weekend. Hopefully we can keep it going. All right. So going back to my scene breakdown. All right. Okay. So this is where. All right. So this is going to be a bit of a scene. This is the scene I was kind of wondering how I was going to handle. Um, I've been kind of struggling with how I want to handle this scene, but this is where Zarya talks to the hologram of her dad. It's kind of emotional. So yeah, pretty much the same. I catch a little basketball and work on these scenes because we're trying to go ahead and get this 6th episode ready by at least the week after next. So we can go ahead and get that up on the channel so you guys can see the finished product. Um, and again, like this scene right here, this is basically Zarya talking to her deceased father and him kind of breaking down the past. So I think I'm actually going to add in another scene here, which is going to be a close up of him, so that it's not just all one shot. So I'm gonna turn this from 1 to 2 scene. So let's go ahead and do that. See, I'm gonna go ahead and reference some stuff real quick. Just give myself a little bit of a Just give myself a little bit of a ideological help. Sometimes you just got to figure out because when you got two people talking to each other, you really want to, and one's a hologram of all things. Um, just trying to really figure out how I want that scene to translate. And this is the reason why I'm not so much worried about the super detailed parts just yet because I'm really figuring out how to make these scenes translate the best I possibly can. Here. Let's see here. Go save and storytelling tutorial. There we go. I definitely want to figure that out. Just kind of how I want that to work to translate. So, and sometimes what I'll do is I'll look through like my little Pinterest files and I just find some reference somethings, maybe something that'll give me a little inspiration to what I'm trying to do. Is it more here? I think it's more. Yep. Okay. Bingo. All right. So once again, let's put our grid in here. Bring that down some. Bring it down. Let me kind of be a longer shot. So we'll go. There we go. All right. Bring that down. That's just to help me out. And first things first, let's bring. All right, Dad. Just kind of figure you out and figure you in. And so Dad is kind of. Move him up a little, size him down a little, up, hit okay. Make sure he's there. There we go. And boom, got him, got him. All right, so now another layer, another pixel is projecting him. Is pixel projecting him? Let me make sure. Okay, cool. Yeah, he is projecting them. Okay, so gotta draw our little floating trash can. Favorite little floating trash can. I'll make them a little bit, draw them a little bit oversized for now. I can circle down. In a second, I just want to make sure I get all the important stuff in there. Make sure that we see the light beams emanating from his. Right. There we go. And oh, and uh, all right. So now got that. All right, let's size them down a little. Whoa, oops, I'm on the wrong layer. So not a big deal. And we will control X and control V. There we go. Now deselect that and bring him down a little bit. There we go. Right about there. Talking trash can. Yeah, I really gotta try and figure out who I got. I haven't even been paying attention. I've been trying so locked in and trying to get I've been so locked in and trying to get back on track with zero G. Um, I kind of got to get back locked in and see where we at with the tournament. I don't like his pose. It needs to be a little bit more relaxed. It's too stoic. Too stoic. It's too stiff. Yeah. Gotta get those shoulders up there. Get that. There we go. A little bit better. All right. So, again, you just want to just getting the gist of where these guys are at. Mm, you kind of be as messy as you want to be right now, because we just this is kind of the figure it out stage. Red. So we got that. Now we're gonna put a little bit of a wall. And there we go. That's reinventing the wheel here. Yeah, we just kind of figure out where the yep, there we go. And put a window right there. Just kind of figure all that in. Um, yeah, but we want to move Mr. Justin and Pixel back a little bit. Back to this right here. Kind of see. So actually, I don't need that wall right there. Extend over further. Might have to extend it here. So Reason why is because of the depth of the room. All right, so this is going to be, this will probably be right here, there. Just kind of like that. Just kind of block in some stuff. Make sure that we're in the right area. Okay, there we go. And that'll be the desk. Maybe we put some pipes up here or something like that. Put some pipes or something. And then obviously we'll fill those in later. Now, obviously now, we'll go ahead and get to Zarian. For Dan's right here. She's probably going to be right here because she's only about 5'5". He was like a 6'4", so sure. Step forward. Knee. Step, step forward. This leg is up. That means this arm is down and back. And then this arm is forward. And her head would probably be somewhere right here. And that arm. And fingers. And again, these are just super rough layouts. I'm just trying to get a feel for where everybody's going to be at, get characters placed. Sorry. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, cool. Yeah, probably gonna move a little bit over there. Yeah. Yep. I think that's good. I think we're good. Everything, yeah. Everything kind of fits. All right. So let's go ahead and we'll save this one as slide 7. Now remember, one of the things that I'm going to be doing is that this next slide is it's another slide that I figured is going to be needed. This is it's kind of an insert slide. So, but one of the things I'm going to do is because of where he's positioned, I'm going to keep Mr. Johnson. It's going to be a big head, sort of close up, but he's basically going to be relegated to this side of the panel because it would be too jarring if he's in the middle or over here on this side. So we definitely want to always we always want to think about that when you're doing that. If you notice, he's in this side of the panel, so that's what's this considered the right hand side of the panel. My right, your left, right? So we're going to keep them on. We're going to keep them relegated to this side over here, even on, with this close up, which is fine, which is perfectly fine. So in close ups like this, I do try to do a little bit more work, especially with figuring out, you know, emotional facial structure, looks, that type of thing, because we get a little bit more playroom, closer, got more details I can work with. Really, so my character design, he had kind of this custom beard thing going on. And find out a little bit. So let's move him over just a little bit more. There we go. Let's get back to this. Yes. And yeah, there we go. So now, yeah, so that's pretty much done. He's ready to go. It's just a close up. That's going to be a quick panel. That's probably going to be the one I'm going to come back to just go ahead and knock out during today's stream. Let's save that. Make that panel 8. Right. Create a new one. And if you notice in Clip Studio, I have a custom setting for these panels for these slides that we're creating for the podcast, and it's basically 1920 by 1080, and resolution is at 300, which is a bit of an oxymoron. Normally, 1920 by 1080 really isn't it shouldn't go over 72, but I do that hope in the hopes of it being a little bit higher resolution, um, in case we want to pump things up. But I'm not even sure if that even works. So, but I've been working with that as far as the series is concerned for the longest. Why stop now? Let's see here. All right, let me go back to what it is that we were working on. Go back to my breakdown. I do believe now. All right, so technically only got one, two, three, four more, which would give us a total of 12 slides for the episode. And we already have 4 done. So we're in a good place. Yeah, we're in a good place. Good place right now. All right. So I think everything else works out. All right. So this one, she's going to be alone. So I want to actually put her in the center and really have her doing the thing. I could add another slide, but I'm not going to. There's no reason to. Um, No reason to as of right now. I'm going to go ahead and center her up on this next slide, and let's see how that goes. All right, so once again, I'm going to use, I'm actually going to just work on her. And we'll put her like around about the center, like about so. Dropped head, a lot of decide, a lot of decision making that has to be made. Probably throw pixel in the background. Have her looking at her arm. That shows just the positioning of her eyes, because that's important. I need to have that laid out. Just figuring out where things need to go. With this one, I'm gonna go ahead and hat. Hat and hair. And here, so she's looking at her arm. May want to move her eyes over just a little bit. Bring her down a little bit. Bring her hand in there. Have her, and we just go from there. Again, this is a scene that's going to be born out of the conversation that she has with her father's hologram. I think it's when you see it, you guys are kind of, it'll be a little bit more understandable. Um, but this is kind of her moment of truth thing right here, where she's kind of figuring out and determining her next moves. I'll move that head over a little bit. Um, go here. Here we go. And it's just kind of her determining her path, what that entails. Please tell that she's kind of super sad. We'll move her over just a little bit. Again, I want to keep her in this. I want to keep her to this side of the shot, right back there. Okay. And now we'll put Pixel in the background, but I want him in silhouette. So it's really just kind of bring him in silhouette more. There we go. Yeah, figuring out what parts to be in silhouette, like this part won't be in silhouette, but this part will be. So this part will be. Mm, there we go. Just kind of drew out. Pixel's got these big old long arms anyway, so go ahead and do look there, right there. And then again, he's going to be in shadow for the most part, and then we're going to drop in the background separately at a different time. So this one's pretty much ready to go too. Okay, go ahead and save that one. 9. Yep, we just busting them down one by one, one by one. We'll walk them down. All right. So, this one. Okay, so this is Zarya presenting her plan to the captains. All right, so we'll do our 4 captains from before. Looking pretty good so far. We're gonna get that connection going. All right, so let's get to it. Get to it. All right. So this one is Zarya kind of presenting her plan to the gathered captains. So we'll go there. We'll go here. There we go. All right. Again, this is just to help me figure out everybody's positioning. All right, so in this one, we want to have the captains in this quadrant. We want to have her here. So this is a different scene. So let's do that. Let's do the captains first. lady up front. Bring her kind of to the forefront a little bit. Then we'll have Captain Boss behind Captain Laura. He's taller. Yeah, he's he's a skinny dude. So go away for a second. So put his hands on his hip. And then his neck out a little bit. So make sure to put his hands right there. And then we're gonna add one more captain. So she's in front of him. He's in front of okay, so next captain's gotta be behind him. We'll just add one more. That's the other girl, captain. And put her head right here and draw right there. So um hair is kinda got the big hair thing going. So go ahead and indicate that. Captain Big Hair. There, we got the gathered captains, and they're pretty much in the foreground. I've got them set. And then go ahead and put Zarya over here. And she's going to be showing her plan to the captains via hologram from her arm. So set up a little hollow projector thingy arm. Things are a little too big. Basically, everybody, but that's fine. Get it. I'll get that taken care of. And I think that's what I got her. That and then just show the projector lines going up. And let's go size already really. I think you would see more of her. And this one's going to have a lot of different figures. This particular panel is going to have a lot of different figures in them. So I really got to have it figured out. And so let's put Raven in there. So he's about the same size as Captain Voss, but he's further back in the scene. So have him have his arms folded as usual. Yep, there we go. I think that's about right. Up a little bit, maybe. Bring his shoulders out more, like so. Yep. Yep. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, guys. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. So I think we're doing pretty good. Got all these characters. This one's going to have multiple characters, multiple different moving parts, and then obviously put them into some sort of structure, which would be should be a meeting hall type situation. So let's see. So it'll be something like that. I think probably be right about here. Then we can come straight down. That's kind of close. Maybe it's a little too tall, so I think maybe that a little bit. Move that down to right there. Okay, yeah. And then we can kind of. Okay, cool. Now I kind of at least know where everybody's at. Probably stick some elements right there. Just kind of make sure we're all in a good place. So that at least indicates the background to me. So this one's ready to go too. And this would be slide number 10. Slide number 10. So 910. There we go. And on to the next layout. And again, what I'm doing, guys, is I'm just doing these quick layouts to figure out where characters go, what's going to be in the shot, what's happening. And then once I've got them all laid out, I'm going to come back to the drawings and then add in detail, add in the inks, add in colors, add in backgrounds. Sometimes I have the backgrounds pre-made or generated. So all I have to do is just drop them in, boom, and that will pretty much be the slide. Sometimes I may have a background that I may have to hand draw in, so I have to figure some things out. And again, I just figure that out as we go along. But this is pretty much the process of how we make these slides for these illustrated podcasts, these audio dramas, video dramas that we're doing. So um, let me go back to my little breakdown. Okay, so there we go. So this is gonna be 11. Okay, so this is the captains talking amongst themselves. This is an easy panel. This is a very easy one. So honestly, we can. So we can start off with Captain Lalara, who is going to kind of be like, okay, yeah, let's do this. So she's very supportive. Notice now that I kind of have everything figured out. I'm kind of going to this little scribbly type style. Where I'm just really figuring out people's positions and faces now. It's kind of like I'm not trying to draw, just drawing the basic shapes of their bodies. Then we're gonna go to Captain Boss. He's taller. He's thinking to himself, angular. Got that big long beard. So we'll go ahead and just put that in there. Made his ear too big though. He's kind of thinking to himself. It's like, I don't know about this, but it, you know, he kind of drop Captain Lar out just for a second. So I got to get his arm arm positioning just right. Put his other arm behind his back. He's got a thin guy, so he's kind of thinking to himself, trying to figure this out. Uh, yeah, there's that one. Captain Lawrence right there. All right, boss. It's the other captain. She's like, yeah, I'm with it. Then Mohawk captain will be there too. And then we'll probably throw some other captains in the background. So got her. Mm, then oops, got a little ahead of myself. Right, you're gonna have this guy, Mohawk guy. So just go ahead and draw this Mohawk in there real quick. So I know where he's at. And go ahead and draw his face in. So now we got him kind of like got his fist up, like, okay, it's a little too big in comparison to Captain behind him or in front of him. Probably make him a little bit smaller. He's ready to fight. All right, gotta get him. Doop, doop. There we go. push them back a little bit, and then draw a couple more faces or just heads, and this will be the some of the other captains in the crowd, and we'll kind of determine some features for them as we go ahead and do that. Draw a couple background, the guy in the background here, just so it's kind of like, and yeah, and then this one will just drop a background in it. So that one's laid out, it's ready to go. Save. Number 11. Cool. And let's end with this last panel. So it's going to be yeah. And if I'm looking at the okay, so hmm, go ahead and put Zaria right here. No, that's kind of the same. Let's change this angle up a little bit. Sometimes you just need to switch things up a little bit and change the angle. Let me get a little inspiration, a little inspo for this. Let's see where we're at. Look over here on Pinterest. Um, what would be a cool angle for this? Too? No, it's there. I just got to figure it out. Uh-oh, a little light flicker. So if you guys don't know, it's been raining all day here in St. Louis. I don't know where everybody's from. Yeah, where y'all from? Hit me up in the chat. Let me know where you guys are from. While I'm looking at this, while I'm looking up some info. Yeah, let me know where you're from. Also, if you are just now getting into the chat, or just now getting in here and you're watching the stream, first off, hi once again. Go ahead and hit the like button and let everybody know that you know you're here. So I think we're gonna go try something here. Let's try some cool stuff. Try some cool stuff. What's the point of drawing if you can't try cool stuff sometimes? Um, so do that. That guidelines in there. All right. Mm, there. Actually, I messed up. No problem. There we go. little bit of a. There we go. Bring her down a little. Bring it down a little bit more. Swab it. I'm still trying to figure out kind of the music situation too, guys. I just don't know just yet. YouTube can kind of be finicky with us, or with us creators when it comes to that. So, because I do like to draw with music playing. Um, but again, because I'm not exactly sure how, you know, um, what the what we can and can't do as far as that's concerned. So I don't want to just, you know, get my get myself in trouble because she's supposed to be holding her favorite wrench, which I don't know why she's holding the wrench, but hey, we're gonna have her hold the wrench. Okay, that kind of looks cool. And then, so that means Raven will be in the background, kind of there. I like that I did that because it just kind of helps me figure out where it goes. Whoops. Layer. Actually, and because he's taller, but he would be kind of further back. Pull him around. Yep. And let's just do that way. There we go. Okay. Also, get on that. I'm actually going to bring her down a little. No, actually, I'm going to go the other way. Again, she's shorter than him, but she's in the foreground, so we're going to actually pull her, build her up. That makes sense. And then obviously, so now Pixel will be in the background here, and he'll be playing Fight the Power, which is kind of cool. And more than anything else, we're going to have, yeah, there we go. I think that's oops. All right, so there we go. And with her kind of taking up the scene a little bit, I think that's going to work out really good. Yep. So even we said here. there. Yeah, may bring that up a little bit. Put that on the right layer. That's what I need to do. Okay, cool. There we go. Straight lines. Put there. Make sure we got. And then these lines that I'm putting here, they really mean nothing because they're just here. Well, they do mean something. They're helping me just kind of visualize the scene, the shot a little bit better. So, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to actually come back in and really design around this in a lot more of a lot more detail when it comes time to really put this one. And again, because she is shorter, but she's the focal point. You're probably not going to see as much of her legs, but you're going to see him because he's taller, he's further back, um, something like that. So that actually kind of makes sense now. All right. So that gives me something to work with. And that's actually the last, not 112. Well, there we go. That's actually the last slide. So let's go back to probably the easiest slide to finish up, which is her father, the close up of her father. Need to check something out real quick. Let me see here. I need to pull up a little reference image. So let's go over here. Over there, grab that. Go here. To slides. Yep, there we go. All right. All right, let's get to it. So what we're gonna do, just go ahead and add in the extra details that we need to. Make his face a little bit more angular. Mustache is about right. Bring those ears out a little bit more. Actually make eyebrows bigger. Yep. Take that out. Have that come up like that. There we go. All right. Yep. There we go. Yeah, brought the shoulders out a little bit. Let's bring that down. Put the vector layer on top. Pull our G pen. Let's set that to 15 because we're kind of close. Yeah, y'all know what's up. Y'all know what's up when the hair goes backwards. It's time. It's showtime. So let's get to work on the outlining of the hair area and the head. Bring that down. So And let's see here. Bold line. And not filling that part. There we go. So there we go. All right. Now let's bring. Just going to bring down that nib size a little bit. Love it. There we go. So now we just kind of yes. And then in the inking process, I'm normally finalizing, correcting any lines that I may not like. Obviously, you're not beholden to anything in the pencil process. This is just basically getting the idea out there and figuring out the best way, then figuring it out once you kind of can see it, and then you can just edit it and make it do whatever, make it do what it do. So let's go ahead and yep, and bring that hairline like so, and that, and drag, drag, and crow's feet weren't really working for me. There they go, much better. All right. So yeah, that was pretty. There. Go. Gonna go 50 point. I'm just gonna kind of texture this gray beard out a little bit. Add a little texture to it, a little shadow area to it. Pull that up. Oh, go back. Okay. They weren't intersecting like that. Okay, cool. Go ahead and add a little there. Add a little there. Bring that down a little bit. Add a little texture right. Come on, stay in the lines. Come on, dude. It's almost like 12th. I mean, it's like first grade type stuff. Now stay in between the lines. Stay in the lines. Bring it down to 30 point. Yeah, let's not go too far. Oh, there we go. There we go. And then let's bring this back down to a 10 so we can cover like add those final details that something like this needs. There we go. Go ahead and white on there. Let's drop that down to a 10 again. I don't know if y'all can hear that rain, but that rain is coming down. It's starting to come back down again. I mean, that's how it's been all day long. So just rain, drab, dreariness, just chilly air, the whole 9 yards. It's just, ugh, it's just been one of those days. Um, I don't know what y'all do on a rainy weekend. On a rainy weekend like this, I'm not trying to go nowhere. I'm just trying to chill. Um, and basically just chill. Like I said, like I told Latif earlier, I think I'm gonna just do a little work and keep it at that. Keep it pushing. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Drop that out. Let's see. I need to kind of bring down rain a little bit. There we go. There we go. Now we're just trying to build this out a little bit more. Yep, there we go. All right, cool. And then just a little bit more. I think we're kind of cool now. I think kind of cool. Yeah, I think we're Gucci now. Let's go ahead and let's bring in the collar area a little bit. So yeah, so this one's pretty much ready to can get to the coloring process. Let's do this. Select Control D. Can have any open line areas that closed off. Any others? Let's go. All right. All right. That's pretty tight. That's pretty tight. No marching ants in the wrong area. Let's inverse that. Get those areas right. Alright. This is a little discolor. I need to bring that up a little bit. I know it's a hologram, but I'm going to go ahead and darken them up a little bit regardless. We'll just say it's a HD signal. Actually, I wonder if there's a filter I could put in and kind of put that. Let's see. Let's see about that. All right. So now coloring process is pretty simple. Or you guys have probably seen it before. If not, basically what I do now is I just drop in the base colors, um, or the what you would call the flat colors, and just do that with my paint bucket on a rasterized layer. Because again, you can't do that. You can't use the paint bucket on the vector layer. Actually, Let's kind of take it somewhere in between. Take that in between right about there. That should be good. So I'm actually on a raster layer, dropping in these colors with my paint bucket. Keep the same colors right here. Brother, brother. There we go. I'm about to say that's not how it's supposed to work. Let's see here. Um, and a lot of times, like if it's base colors like that, this is cool right here. Because I'm going to come in and add other flats in just a second. Take that out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to my um, where it's adjust line width tool. Make sure it's set to thicken. Put that brush size up super high. And then just go ahead and do like this. And this is going to thicken that color where it's going to fill in any of those areas where the black may have the color did not fully fill in with the black. This is just an important part of the process because now there we go. Now I know that it's fully filled in. There's no odd looking white areas or anything like that. Oh, let's go back down here. Change that back. Just keep that at it. Keep that. Now I can go back to this. And then like, okay, so now and go to this and we can start adding kind of these secondary colors. Because I just wanted to fill that in for the most part first with the flats. And now I can come back in with little secondary colors and fill the rest in. So like now we can kind of fill in the eye area. Right. Fill in right here. Supposed to have been certain color. Then I can see where areas kind of got filled in with the wrong color. I can color that up correctly. And I think we're pretty good moving forward. Yep, this is good. This is really good. All right, so now we got all of that taken care of. Now what we'll do is we change the color to white. We'll put a layer on top, and we'll just use our universal fill. Then we're gonna put a new layer on top. We're gonna put that layer, set that layer to multiply. Get Greek, can't talk. And we're gonna go down here and we're gonna get a purple. We'll go down here, we're gonna pick a nice little purple. Um, and then we're gonna just add in the shadow areas. Shadow area for the there. Because it's on its own layer. This layer set to multiply. And you'll see kind of the method to the madness in just a second. And just kind of making sure we kind of get these different areas marked off. Let's see here. So definitely oops, got a little too much going on. There we go. Take this up to 50 because we want to cover this whole spot area here. So you take that back down. There we go. And shadow up under there. Make sure we get that. Make sure we get this little shadow up under here. Put that away. I think that's good. I like that. I like that. So now that I've got the shadow area kind of in there, locked in the way I wanted to. That's set to multiply. Let's go ahead and drop this out, this white. All right, now what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go over here to filter. Well, no, I'm sorry, select color gamut. First of all, we're gonna deselect everything. Then we're gonna go. I always skip that step the first time. So select color gamut. We'll go ahead and select the color. And we're now going to go back to the multiply level. And we're going to, now lately I've been bringing this, I used to bring it over, like I said, and I keep saying I used to bring it over to the outside. But lately I've started bringing it back over to the colder side. Because I think I get a better shadow on the skin tones. And then what I do is I desaturate those shadows so they kind of blend in more. And in this case, I'm gonna drop the luminosity just a little bit. There we go. And that's pretty much it. Shadows are ready. So go back down, normal, deselect that, hit select, color gamut, hit the eyes, go there, pull up the hue saturation, and take that. Leave that right there. Take that down. And then again, I'm gonna bring that color gamut down a lot in this one. Just so I mean that luminosity, I should say, which I think really works in this case. All right, so let's deselect. There we go. Now, then we're going to select and we're going to grab that gray back there. Take this right there in the coldest area and then desaturate that down. Now, this one, I don't think I'm going to mess with luminosity. I like how that came out. And then finally, we're going to go back here. Hit that select, grab that, multiply, pull up my slider. Yeah, right there. Just desaturate that down. Leave that right there. I'm actually going to make that a little bit darker. So I'm bringing the luminosity up instead of down. Go. Right. Now, what I'm going to do, now I'm come back over this skin tone. With another layer, we're gonna mask that layer off. We'll deselect. Um, Go to my airbrush tool. Want to choose a nice little pale blue. Put on soft. Bring that down a little bit. The 20 point. And we're just gonna add a nice little rim. Because this mask is not going to go outside the line. And we're just going to go ahead and add in a little rim lighting and pull that out a little bit. And add a little bit right there. Now, what I could also do to kind of show a little bit of grab this and I can drag this over. And I can kind of brush in secondary, kind of add a little gradient to it, and kind of there we go. So that I'll just look one color. There we go. Now, what I'm also going to do, I'm going to create a layer on top, even the ink layer. I'm going to go ahead and kind of just scroll over. Again, just want to kind of just scroll over and just outline because he is a holographic projection. It's in high definition. And we want to kind of stress that part that he is a projection. And that effect to it. I'm also going to do first and foremost, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and put them in a folder too. You gotta have it spelled correct. Mm, all that in there. So now makes it easier for me to drop a background in there. In this case, we're going to drop a so we went more. Yeah, kind of that brownish tonish, which actually work because it's more of a come on, Dave. All right, there we go. All right, now let's go back in here. Let's go back to our that, and we're going to get the filter on that. Put the Gaussian blur. Mm, yeah, that's a little bit more like it. Put a Gaussian blur on that layer. Filter, blur, Gaussian. Keep it going. Keep it going. Thin it out. There we go. That adds a perfect effect to it. And then let's go back, close this up. Um, actually going to bring it a little bit darker. And we're going to airbrush, soft airbrush in. So put that 3 on. A little bit darker. So fill out that way. Yeah, I think that's going to work out. That works out a lot better. Keep that dark like that. Oh, this is, yeah, good to go. Um, so this was pretty much ready to go. This was done. I'm not adding no background or anything like that. We're just gonna blow it out. I think this really works. I think, yeah, I think we're in a good place with this one. I'll go ahead and save this as go PNG, and there you go. Slide 8 is done. Let's see. Let's knock out another one of these easy ones. All right, let's lock out slide 9. Again, for the most part, let's start off inking and figuring this out. So we'll go here, bring this down regardless. Go here to the pen, make this a 12 point, and Zari, let's bring her down, put the vector layer on top, and rinse, wash, repeat, right? Let's see how we can see how well this will work out. Here again, and one thing is when I'm doing my layouts, I'm never scared to put in my guidelines to help me figure out where my drawing or where things need to go. That's the one thing you should never be afraid to do because your guidelines are going to be what save your butt every time. That's cool. Did too much. That, and then you just kind of start noticing things that work, things that don't work. Just bring that out some. But even things like just drawing out her fingers. If you notice, I'm actually doing a lot of the detail art at the inking level, and that's by design. Um, it's kind of that workflow I developed for myself, especially when I was working on Kwame Hightower. Also, this is how I was able to, when you're doing your writing and you're drawing and you're doing all this other stuff, you have to kind of develop some shorthand, some shortcuts. So I figured out how to finish most of my art um, at the ink level or the finishing level, you should say, adding the final details. So a lot of times that's why the pencil lines when I'm drawing my pencils are kind of more of a, just an indicator of where things need to go. And when it's time to get to the final part of it, that's when I kind of go all out. Nope, need to bring that back up to a 10. Bring that up. I'm actually gonna move that line over ever so slightly. There we go. I like that line. There we go. Much better. Bring it down. Man, that rain is coming down. Something like that line. That's the line I don't like. Don't like that accent either. There we go. Now, gotta put a little yeah, mechanical ends. That's what we're doing right now. And this was just, it just makes everything work a little bit better. Let's bring this up to the 20 points. And then like a lot of the times, you learn how to. Sometimes you don't really need to do too much other than just change your line weight a little bit. Changing the line weight really changes the whole complexion, everything. Um, but it's less, you're not doing the type of work. You're helping, you're doing more for yourself than you're hurting yourself, basically, by doing that. Um, and you're speeding up the process a lot. Um, so sometimes just change your line weight to help get a texture or something that will work for you. Let's bring it down to 10. Let's see here. That goes there, there, all right, there. And we're gonna go like that, go like that. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right. I like that one. Like that right there. And remember, like I said, a lot of the times, so I'm doing a lot of this, the final art or the final changes for the art at the inking stage, the finalization of the art at the inking stage. So that's why I'm not as concerned with the super detailed um, pencils. Again, I can correct on the go. Even there we go. And all of this is just again in service to getting getting the story completed. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of call these close-up panels where I know I don't have as much work. These kind of my cheap panels. This will get you through. These are the panels that get you through. So um, always keep a close up at the ready. Oh shoot, which means that this one is gonna have to really have to go a little bit. Go. There we go. Go here. Now, all right, so go ahead and have the lights go this way. Be a little bit different for this type of panel. Normally I have the light hit the hair from the other direction, but sometimes you gotta change things up a little bit. Just get that in there. Leave it like that. It's, it's not like you can run out of ink. It's digital. So, there we go. And, break that line up. Bring that over like so. I'm just gonna go color this all in, or just fill this all in. And again, you can't use a paint bucket on the vector layer in Clip Studio. So what I do to keep the blacks all crisp is I just fill in um, with my pen, which for the most part works. Just feeling like so. I don't like that though. Let's do this. There we go. And I'm feeling like that. Now, technically, I'm not going to fill in Pixel that way. I'm just going to do his outline. In this case, that's a paint bucket job. And it'll match for the most part. So when I get the pixel, I'm just gonna drop colors in, or drop the paint in. Because again, basically he's basically in shadow. There we go. And yeah, so now let's see here. But I do drop in the highlight in whites. I went too small. There we go. All right. So she's paying attention to her middle arm. Think about all of the setbacks she had. This is a prosthetic, rejections, and all that type of stuff. And she's really thinking about just all those things